I will say Stardew Valley has been a very interesting experience for me. I've always knew the game was good, you know. Again, everyone talks about it, and anyone who's ever played it like consistently absolutely fucking loves it. Like, yeah, I know that. That's that much is true. But again, for me, what I like about games, especially games like those that feel more homey and stuff and personal, is I like to be able to feel like I'm a part of the world rather than a hero. That's actually one of the reasons why I don't really play Skyrim like that. Is I don't really like being the hero of the story. I like feeling a part of the world. And the reason why I like feeling that way is specifically because of Fable. Fable 2, that game actually made me feel like a part of the actual world itself. And so I long for that. I really do. I long for that. I love being a part of the world itself and not the actual hero, which is ironic because I know in that game you're literally called a hero and you do have special powers and stuff. So maybe it's not really the god complex that bothers me. It's just games tell you that you're the hero of the story, and so you're not allowed to have fun. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. You're not allowed to take your time and to, you know, raise a family and things like that. You don't get to do those things because you're a hero. You have responsibilities to, you know, whatever the fuck they say, a prophecy or something, you know. So I think that's actually my issue. I don't think my issue is being the hero of the story. It's being so much of the hero you can't be a part of the world. And maybe Skyrim isn't really those. I mean, I know I can see my raise a family on Skyrim, you know. I mean, they don't really stop me from doing so. I'm gonna have to. Oh, someone has a golden auto sniper. That's a problem. So maybe that's not it. Maybe just Skyrim just isn't really my thing. If that makes any sense. Maybe it's just not really like the thing I like to do. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I like Skyrim. I do. I just haven't really had a push to really play it. And funny enough, the mechanics for Skyrim are actually a lot better in terms of families than Fable is, kind of. Well, not really. I mean, and I guess I gotta kind of compare the two, because I know in Fable 2 you can family upkeep for weekly allowance. You can gift to your wife as often as you want to. That's probably what it is. I know I can consistently gift to my wife in Fable 2 as much as I want to. I can give her money, I can give her flowers, chocolates, toys, a bunch of expressions. I can have her follow me, we can go on dates. Actually, some NPCs in Fable 2 like certain locations where your expressions actually are the expressions that you use actually mean more, and so it makes them like you even more. Then after you have kids, you can consistently give to your kids, and basically the same kind of thing. So I guess maybe that's what it is. Because I know I can't really just talk to my wife in Skyrim, but I can consistently use emotes on my wife in Fable 2. So maybe that's what it is. Again, I do like the system in Skyrim. You know what? There's something else that Skyrim fucked up on too. Every so often, your wife makes you a meal. You know, and she's like, I know my wife was Borgak, and she was an orc woman, and she is a beautiful woman. And so what she would do is she would say a warrior can't march on an empty stomach, and she would make me dinner and stuff, and I would actually use that when I'm in battle. I'll be like, oh, good thing she made me this meal. I guess something happened with my game, and this has happened multiple times with, you know, on multiple playthroughs. But she just stops gifting me or giving me the option to make food. You know, so again, I kind of like, that kind of sucks. You know, Borgak hasn't made me dinner in a while, and that's not an issue. It's not like, oh, your wife is supposed to give you dinner or anything like that. It's just the fact that mechanic doesn't really work anymore. And honestly, I wish the mechanic worked the other way, to where I can actually give my wife food. And that's the thing. Fable 2 allows me to do that, and they actually do respond with, oh, I was actually hungry. I appreciate it. And so that means a little bit more to me, honestly. It means a little bit more that I can actually give my wife food, because I actually go to the meat guy in Fable 2, or I think it's a pie person, and I get her either a filet mignon, or I get her a beef pie, basically. And then I give her a beef pie, I give her a dessert as another pie, and then I sometimes give her healthy foods as well. But again, I'm able to give my wife as much food as I kind of want to. And also, you can't give your wife the same gift over and over and over again, or they might start getting tired of the gifts as well. So being able to either trade with my wife, basically, in terms of like swapping gear or gifting to them. And I would rather gift, man. I rather would. Again, I've always been a family man, thanks to Fable at least. And so I guess, you know, the wife system and the child system in Fable is actually a little bit better because I can actually interact with my family and they interact with me, because I forgot. After I come back from like a long adventure in Fable, Fable 2, I know my wife, or even my kids, they give me gifts. You know, they give me gifts when I come back, you know, and it lets me know that I'm being a good husband. So not only can I do the upkeep and give to my wife and my children as often as I need to, and I can have up to 6 children in Fable 2, by the way. Oh, I had a big family with Lady Gray, man. Me and Lady Gray, we had a huge family. 6 fucking kids, man. I had 6 children in that game, man. I was living the dream back when I think I was like 15, 16 when I played that game. Man, I love that fucking game. But anyway, I also had the opportunity to actually gift to them as much as I needed to as well. And they gifted to me to let me know that I was doing a great job as a father. So that was also really nice. And Skyrim is just like, hey dad, can I have some money? Or that's basically it. Or I think there's like one instance that's special with my first child, Lucia. And I think she asked if she can keep a rabbit. Oh yeah, sure, as long as you take care of it, type deal. But other than that, nothing else of interest really happened. Actually no, one other thing had happened, and it doesn't happen anymore. But I came home to my daughters because I adopted another girl, and I brought her home. And I came home one day, and they were both arguing with each other, basically. But again, and I came in and I broke it up, but like I said, that doesn't happen too much often anymore. Like, my children interact with each other. In Fable 2, though, I've seen my 6 kids run around and play tag with each other. Oh my god. It's the most adorable thing in the world. If you've ever wanted to be a parent, seeing your biological children run around and play tag with each other. You know, which again, funny enough, you can actually play tag with your kids in Skyrim, which is funny. You know, I think that's actually one of the more better interactions, but again, I can only play tag so many times, you know. And there's not really a love or hate meter to let me know that I'm doing a good or bad job either. And there's not really that little upkeep. Again, like I said, I can't really be a bad husband to my wife, if that makes any sense. So, I mean, basically, I can actually neglect my wife after that and I'll be just fine. You can't really neglect your wife in Fable. You kind of have to kind of be there for them. Which again, it's not the fact that I want to feel forced to be there for my wife, but I like the fact that me being there actually does mean something. Like I said, when I like playing my adventure games, I like being a family man. I really do. Or at least feeling like I'm a part of the world. An example will be when I played Fallout New Vegas. I actually was able to pick up a job where I stood outside of a business in New Vegas. I forgot exactly the exact place, but it was right outside of Vegas. And it was like some weapons dealer guy or whatever. It was some weird mission. And I just kind of stood out there and I was kind of like a bouncer type deal, which I thought was really cool. I enjoyed that a lot. But that was a bit, I little did I know that was a contextual mission. So for a second, I did feel like I was part of New Vegas. I did. I'm like, man, it feels good to have a job. I'm employed. I'm gonna get paid for this. But it turns out it was just a contextual mission. So, I mean, once again, the whole hero complex thing that they like to do, you know. Which again, I'm not trying to say New Vegas is a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. It's just the whole, I like being a part of the world. You know, I want to be able to get a job in New Vegas, you know, for myself. You know, I want to be able to, you know, pay rent and own a home, you know, rather than, you know, killing some bandits and staying there, you know, things like that. Which I know in Fallout 3 you can actually buy property and actually live in Megaton, I think is what it's called. And I know that I don't think they have a relationship system in that game. But I think Fallout 4 might actually be my favorite for feeling a part of a world. I think so. I don't think you can get a job there, but the relationship system is actually pretty goddamn good. I actually like the relationship system in Fallout 4. I think that's the first time they actually added romanceable NPCs into a Fallout game. Because I can tell you that homegirl, I forgot her name. I think her name was Cassie or some shit. The redheaded chick, she was not doing it for me, man. Bro, when I finished New Vegas for the very first time and they said, yeah, you and homegirl had sex that night. I'm like, bro, I don't want to have sex with her. I don't want to have. She had sex with me while I was drunk, bro. That's fucked up. You had to wait till I was drunk to have sex with me. You couldn't ask me. Oh lordy lord. And I didn't even want her like that, bro. I was so mad. I was like, bro, why are you gonna wait for me to get drunk and then enter my quarters. Like, no. The fuck out of here, man. What kind of shit is that? We've been walking together this entire time. You talking about like Big Dick Willie and shit, and how you knew Big Dick Willie had a big dick and shit. I'm like, girl, look, I want nothing to do with what you do. We're in New Vegas times. We're in survival times. You can't get checked up. You can't get routine checkups in this world. I kind of don't want to deal with you like that. And nah, man. Waited for me to get drunk, and she jumped your boy, man. It's kind of fucked up. I'm not gonna lie. Just saying, switch to genders. I did not want it. I did not want her like that. The game just assumed that I wanted her because she was a woman character. I was like, no, that's not how that works.